it's Multimedia Guys here, and in this video we will show you a fairly interesting OCG Yu-Gi-Oh deck. So right now I will go over every single card choice in the main deck and in the extra deck. So let us begin. First off, we have Destiny Hero Dogma. It's food for trade-in and Destiny Draw, which makes it pretty good by itself. But it's also one of the fusion material monsters for Destiny and Dragoon, which is the reason we run it, along with Plasma, which has basically the same uses, although you will sometimes, rarely, summon him for his effect. Then we have Destiny Hero Dreadmaster, again more food for trade-in and Destiny Draw. Then Elemental Hero Prisma. He can replicate any of these two just by sending them to the graveyard, so that he can be used for Destiny and Dragoon. He's also light, which gives us Shining access, and Mask Hero Koga access. Then we have Destiny Hero Diamond Dude. We will basically use him for Destiny Draw and just for activating any of these 13 normal spell cards before the draw phase, which is fairly useful if you ask me. Then we have Elemental Hero Blazeman and Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. I am explaining these two together because they are pretty much a small little engine by themselves. So Elemental Hero Blazeman, when he is normal or special summoned, you can add one polymerization from your deck to your hand, or you can send one elemental hero monster from your deck to the graveyard, except himself. And his attribute, attack and defense become that monster's attack and defense and attribute. So you can only special summon fusion monsters the turn you activate that effect, and you can only use one elemental hero Blazeman effect per turn and only once that turn. Then we have Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. The reason Blazeman is good: when he is special summoned, you can add one change quick play spell card, but we won't use that effect at all since we have no means to special summon him. But when he is sent from your deck or your hand to the graveyard, you can add any hero monster from your deck to your hand, which is except him for himself, which means basically you can add any monster from your deck except for Elemental Hero Shadow Mist by his effect. And you can also ditch him via Blazeman, or you can just use polymerization and fuse him with another monster. He's also dark, giving us Dark Claw and Escuridao access. Then we have Emergency Call. I probably butchered the Escuridao. Emergency Call, it's a straightforward card. It adds one elemental hero monster from your deck to your hand. It will usually be either Shadow Mist or Blazeman. On rare occasions, Prisma, but that's a very rare occasion. Polymerization, what's there to explain? Basically fuse two monsters of yours. Then we have trade-in, since we have 9 level 8 monsters. It allows us to discard one of them and then draw 2 cards. And along with Destiny Draw, this gives us insane draw power. Then we have Miracle Fusion, only 2 of them because I can't find any place to fit in the third. It basically fuses elemental heroes from your graveyard or your field. It can't use the materials from your hand, although still it's a pretty good card considering how much we send things to the graveyard. Next, Dark Coral Staple, nothing to explain. Mask Change, you target one face-up hero monster, send it to the graveyard and special summon one mask hero monster with the same attribute. So basically any of these 3. Then we have Fusion Reserve, another OCG card. you reveal one fusion monster from your extra deck, and if you do, just add one of the materials from it to your hand, and then add one polymerization from your graveyard to your hand. This card synergizes very well with Blazeman and with Destiny and Dragoon. Next, for the extra deck, Destiny and Dragoon, the card the deck is based on. So basically, when you summon it, you can once per turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls and inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack. For example, you can target Coolpot Killer, I butchered that, and then you can just activate his effect, destroy it, and inflict 3000 damage to your opponent, which is not too shabby at all. Plus he has 3000 attack by himself, and if he is in your graveyard during the standby phase, then you can special summon him by banishing one of your Destiny hero monsters, and we run 11 of them, so it will be fairly easy to have one in graveyard, in the graveyard, at least one. Although you will have two just by fusing him. Next we have Nova Master, one elemental hero monster, one fire monster, usually Shadow Mist and Blazeman, gives you a +0 to fuse them. Basically, you lose the Shadow Mist and Blazeman, whose effect you should have activated that turn, ditching another Shadow Mist and getting another card. Then you summon Nova Master using the polymerization. That's a -2. But you get the Nova Master, making it a -1, and when you run over a monster with Nova Master, you draw another card, and it all sums up to a +0. Next we have Elemental Hero The Shining, usually summoned by Miracle Fusion. It gains 300 attack for every one of your banished Elemental Hero monsters, and when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, by any means, you can target two of your banished Elemental Hero monsters and add them to your hand. Next we have Elemental Hero Escuridao, I have no idea how to pronounce that. One Elemental Hero monster, one Dark monster, either one of these 11 Destiny heroes, or in most occasions Elemental Hero Shadow Mist to activate his effect, or both. Basically, it gains 100 attack for every Elemental Hero monster in your graveyard. Not a too good effect, but still it can be useful sometimes when you're in late game and just want to run over a monster. Next we have Vision Hero Trinity. So it takes 3 hero monsters, so you can use the Destiny heroes or Elemental heroes as the materials. Its attack in the turn it's summoned equals 5000, meaning it can beat over nearly anything in the game except maybe 5-headed dragon if he's buffed, or the Dragon Master, which nobody runs ever, so you're pretty safe playing him. Although he can't attack directly, he can attack 3 monsters in each battle phase, which makes him a pretty powerful card, but do remember that you'll be taking a -3 in card economy. With Shadow Mist that's a -2, but still heavy. Then we have Mask Hero Koga. You basically summon Prism and then activate Mask Chain to summon him. That's the only way to summon him in this deck. Either that or you ditch a Shining for some reason, but he can be more useful than Shining sometimes. So he has a pretty powerful effect. It gains 500 attack for each monster your opponent controls. So it's great against swarm decks, or decks that continuously let out a massive array of monsters. Also, you can banish one hero monster from your graveyard and target one face-up monster on the field, and it will lose attack equal to that monster's attack until the end phase. which is again a pretty powerful effect. At worst, it will make your opponents take 3000 damage, which is not too shabby. Then we have Mask Hero Dark Claw. You will either summon him using Destiny Hero Diamond Dude or Elemental Hero Shadow Mist, in which case you will be actually taking a +0 in card economy, because you lose the polymerization and Shadow Mist, but via Shadow Mist effect you get another card and you summon Mask Hero Dark Claw. I'm sorry, I meant Mask Change, not polymerization. Then we have Mask Hero Goka. He must be special summoned with Mask Change and can be summoned by other ways as any other masked hero. And he gains 100 attack for each hero monster in your graveyard, while he is basically weaker than Elemental Hero Escudao. He has lower base attack, but he gains 100 attack for any hero monster, making him quite easily stronger than Escudao. You will only summon him using Elemental Hero Blazeman and sometimes Elemental Hero Nova Master if you want to evade a Mirror Force or something like that. And that is my explanation of the deck. Next I will approximate how it can play against many decks. So first of all, I will take Cool Pots. So they have this boss monster, the Killer. It's a level 10 monster and it's unaffected by spell traps or effects of monsters that have lower original levels or ranks than its level, and it is level 10, making other decks have a lot of trouble running over him. But in this deck you just summon Destiny and Dragoon and your opponent takes 3000 damage, which is not too shabby. It plays a pretty good game against Cool Pots and Shadows. I've actually never lost once playing against Shadows with this deck ever, although it has a pretty bad Stellar Knight matchup. Making it good for right now, but if Stellar Knights become more meta, it will have a hard time because of these two monsters. This card basically detaches one XYZ material and destroys any card on the field, and when it's sent from the field to the graveyard you can special summon one Stellar Knight monster from your hand or deck. Not devastating in case you have a Destiny and Dragoon, although it can still screw you over in case you are late game or something similar. Plus Stellar Knights sometimes make a lot of back row and can sometimes run over Destiny and Dragoon too. Plus, if they banish him, you're done. Then we have Stellar Knight Travail. I probably butchered that too. It returns all other cards on the field to the hand. The main reason why we have a very bad Stellar Knight matchup. Basically, your fusion monsters are screwed if he summons Travail. This is a really broken effect against us. And if you manage to send it to the graveyard somehow, I don't know how, but with all that back row, I really have no idea how you would do that. But even if you did, he still special summons one Stellar Knight from his graveyard, and next turn your opponent can probably bring out another one of these, making all of your efforts useless. Although it has pretty good matchups with most meta decks, and Shadows are a particularly easy matchup. They are a really easy matchup, because once you summon Destiny and Dragoon, nothing they do can really stop you. Yes, they do have Nephilim, which will send him to the graveyard, and next turn you burn them for 2800 damage. They do have that other card, which makes you special summon once per turn. Who cares about that? Just pop it with Destiny and Dragoon, and you will deal them 2200 damage. Not bad, right? So basically, it has a really good shadow matchup, a really good cool pot matchup, but a really bad Star Knight matchup. This deck is OCG for now because of Fusion Reserve, Elemental Hero Blazeman, and Shadow Mist. You could make this deck TCG, just kick out Koga, Dark Claw, Fusion Reserve, Shadow Mist, and Blazeman. Replace them maybe with... Also, you probably kick out the Mass Change too. Or maybe not, because you will want to play Koga. Just add like something like King of the Swamp or something similar to add polymerization to your hand. The deck will be a lot slower like that, I tested it, although it will still work. Not as well as before, but it will still work. Also, I will upload a couple videos about this deck, but this will mark the end of my review of it.